Okay, now, did you think XSS was dead? Did you think that XSS issues were dead? That you would never see an XSS issue ever again? No. I'm sorry, but it lives on. Spies hack high-value mail servers using an exploit from yesteryear. Attacks spilled contacts and emails from targeted accounts. Threat actors, likely supported by the Russian government, hacked multiple high-value mail servers around the world by exploiting, yes, you heard it right, XSS vulnerabilities, a class of bug that was among the most commonly exploited in decades past, hearkening back to the time when I was but a young buck in the world of tech, taking down production databases all over the place. XSS is short for cross-site scripting. Vulnerabilities result from programming errors found in web server software that, when exploited, allow attackers to execute malicious code in the browsers of people visiting an affected website. XSS first got attention in 2005 with the creation of the Sammy worm, which knocked MySpace out of commission when it added more than 1 million MySpace friends to a user named Sammy. Man, this is throwback central right now. We've got XSS and we've got MySpace. XSS exploits abounded for the next decade and have gradually fizzled more recently, although this class of attacks continues now. Just add JavaScript. The words you hear before all utter failures in the tech industry. I'm just joking. On Thursday, security firm ESET reported that SEDNet, a Kremlin-backed hacking group, also tracked as APT28, Fancy Bear, Forest Blizzard, and Sophacy, gained access to high-value email accounts by exploiting XSS vulnerabilities in mail server software from 4 different makers. Those packages are Roundcube, MDaemon, Horde, and Zimbra. If you know anything about email service providers, then these might seem familiar to you. I think some of these also do other kinds of services for servers, so it might seem familiar. The hacks most recently targeted mail servers used by defense contractors in Bulgaria and Romania, some of which are producing Soviet-era weapons for use in Ukraine as it fends off an invasion from Russia. Governmental organizations in those countries were also targeted. Other targets have included governments in Africa, the European Union, and South America. Round Press, as ESET has named the operation, delivered XSS exploits through spear phishing. Hidden inside some of the HTML in the email was an XSS exploit. In 2023, ESET observed SEDNet exploiting CVE 2020-43770, a vulnerability that has since been patched in Roundcube. And so there you go. There's your first hint at why this happened right here. So this has been patched, but it's still being used. A year later, ESET watched SEDNet exploit different XSS vulnerabilities in Horde, MDaemon, and Zimbra. One of the now patched vulnerabilities from MDaemon was a 0-day at the time SEDNet exploited it. So essentially what that means is that these systems were not patched. They were not up to date. And as a result, these things happened. 4chan, anyone? JavaScript included in HTML portions of the emails exploited vulnerabilities built into the different mail servers. XSS exploits allow an attacker to control code that runs in a browser as it visits affected sites. The SEDNet code caused mail clients to send contacts and previous emails to attacker-controlled servers. In some cases, it also created a sieve rule that would forward all emails received in the future to a SEDNet address. So there you go. That's essentially how it happened. They have a nice little fancy chart here on how the exploit generally works and what kinds of information that they're getting. This is the exploit chain, and they give some information on like the contents, the subject, title, the from and to addresses, all of that stuff. So just when you thought we were past the good old days of XSS exploits in the wild, nope, they're making a comeback. Absolutely making a comeback.